We are back after Hana Life versus HLE Prince, game number 2. It was a very extended game and Hana managed to even out the series. Twitch has been rising up, climbing up the tier list currently. This is not the very on-meta champion, but at the same time, a lot of people are having a lot of experiments around this champion. So the witness is that it's really hard to hold on during the laning phase, but with that ignite taken, they were able to kind of show the strengths during the laning phase, but at the same time, SeolHaeOne Prince was so close to reaching that game-winning point, but somehow Hana Life Esports managed to turn the game around. Zoe got another victory. It's a 2 Zoe wins in a row, especially that Zoe's Sleepy Trouble Bubble was the key for every team fight. Well, up until the mid-game, Mickey's participation or contribution was much higher compared to Zoe, but after the mid and late game, now all the Trouble Bubble puts so many champions on sleep. So Iksu, when he was looking for that flank angle, he fell asleep. So Hana Life players were able to pick up Aatrox in the very early phase of the team fight. And then another sleep falls onto Mickey. So even though his performance in the earlier phase was not that clean, he was able to kind of compensate his blunders with that late game team fight carry. I can say Zoe was the key player that enabled Twitch to have his late game hyper carry potential. And this was the most crucial moment that happened in this game number 2. Hybrid could click the inhibitor in the further range, but he was overstepping, and as Alice mentioned earlier today, turret is his biggest counter, and with all the Sleepy Trouble Bubble, all the pillars, he was trapped in between the inhibitor and the pillar, so there was no way for him to survive that. So we kind of analyzed that as a click miss, or that was a really crucial mistake for Hybrid's decision making. So that was the point where Hana Life Esports was able to reach out the gold deficit. Well, if Aphelios played like that in that moment, they deserve to lose. And SeolHaeOne Prince, they were really cautious all throughout the game, being aware of the potential team fight from initiation from the Twitch, but in the late game, maybe they lost their concentration. So as the time went by, Hana Life Esports was able to have the game they wanted. Then let's check out the player of the game for the game number 2. Viper on Twitch. Well, Pawn believes that actually Hybrid should be the player of the game for game number 2. A little bit spicy over there. But yeah, Viper was the pillar of this game. He was the key player that gave Hana Life the power to win the late game. We could actually tell that both players in each team were losing their concentration as the game got extended. But Hana Life Esports was the one that was able to hold on to the late game and find the space between Hana Life Esports and SeolHaeOne Prince and kind of push it through the mid lane and close out the game by themselves. But one thing for sure, this game was so entertaining that there were a lot of fights. Very volatile and very active throughout the series. As Viper picked up 8 votes out of 12, he won the player of the game. And let's move on to the game number 3, Hana Life Esports versus SeolHaeOne Prince.
Thank you, T-Sun, as always, for the wonderful translation of the analyst desk. And the CAD vote didn't work out too well for you, LS.
Did not work out.
Although I saw votes in there for for mid, for top. Some very interesting votes overall from all of the 12. And CAD, who had a great game, is being subbed out now for Haru, which is quite interesting.
The really weird thing to me is that without CAD in the early and mid games, so many things just never happen. And that would have resulted in them just losing the game, most likely. So he was such an integral piece to the puzzle, and it really confuses me. So I said before we'd go to break, I'd explain like why I voted for him as player of the game, or why I wouldn't vote for Viper. And I can't vote for Viper when he got baited by a mousetrap twice in crucial parts of the game, and then also got picked off so many times in decisive moments. So I couldn't. I could vote for Lahens.
Yeah. Well.
But yeah, we'll see what happens this game.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. I think I would have kept CAD in. Dudu had a pretty good game too on the Wukong, even though he wasn't like the main, the main star of the game or anything like that. So I think that's part of the reason why he stays in. But Haru, you guys remember, it hasn't been too long. He played game 1 on Lee Sin.
Yeah.
That's all I really have to say. So let's hope he plays something else and has a bit better of a performance. Otherwise, this decision to sub him back in is very questionable in my mind.
Yeah. I agree with you entirely. We'll also see what the ban pick is going to have in store for us, because it could make 3 games of Yuumi getting through.
Yeah,
that would be
weird.
Very bad news. Very bad news bears.
Well, guys, we are getting into the pick ban now, as this is actually Dudu. So I think the one that the coach was hugging was actually CAD after that game. Still getting used to the new faces on the team.
Yep.
Carmen,
and ban pick going a little bit quick right now. Varus is banned away by SP. And we shall see what are going to be the last bans. It's going to be the set again. This is really surprising about set's ban rate, because I believe that rule still exists, where if it's 95% in any region in pro play, that it will guarantee that the champion does get nerfed. And like I told Atlas in one of the casts, pro teams need to band together and remove Teemo from the game. Like, everyone just banned Teemo.
Every single game. Not even 95, make it 100. So that he gets deleted.
Force Riot's hand.
Speaking of deleted, Aphelios didn't get banned again. And there was some priority here onto the Ezreal. Now, SP could take Aphelios.
And Yumi's not banned again.
Yeah. They could take it away.
I think it is really silly to run the Gambit again against Ezreal Yuumi. I think in game number 1, they got massive victories that they shouldn't account for happening again. And it's just such a gamble. I swear, if they B2 Yuumi and B3 Lee Sin.
Well.
Okay. All right.
It's going to be a different jungler, so they did at least change that up, and we will have Yuumi. No surprise there.
This jungler is a lot better.
Yes.
Also, much better synergy with Yuumi than the Lee Sin.
Lahens looked really happy, by the way. Second he's put on camera, he's like, oh, you didn't ban Yuumi again. That's going to be fine for us. Flawless thinking about a Rek'Sai. He will do it. No Trundle in this game this time.
And now SP, see what they ban away. Hanwha Life, depending on what they want to draft, might just ban away a Lowy. Do you suppose it depends on some things?
Ooh.
As there it is. And then they might follow this up with Ornn if SP bans Kayle. That could be a line that ends up occurring here. Gonna be the Galio.
Galio is a big pick for Lava. He plays it a lot. It was banned actually now for the second time after he played it in game 1.
Still could be just an Ornn ban away here though by Hanwha Life. We'll see, there's 5 seconds remaining. They're really taking their time here.
And TF.
It's gonna be TF.
That is the 3rd game in a row in this series that TF was banned in the exact same spot.
Well, as we thought, Ornn does come in, and it is a dual flex. It's able to go mid, able to go top, depending on what the opponent wants to pick.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a bit of a focus on that one, as Aatrox will be picked here for Dudu, you would imagine.
Well, he's locked in there now. It's going to be a blind mid here for Lava, with having to respect the fact that Ornn can also go into mid. So, looking at like Orianna would be a pretty... Not a... I mean, it is Rumble Jarvan.
Yeah.
And with Yuumi, I do suppose that you can create quite a big sandwich, but the opponents are coming into you. There's nothing else really too surprising there, as Ahri and then LeBlanc getting hovered, but I can't really imagine that either one of these are genuinely being considered. As it's going to go to Azir. Very weird sequence of events ends up happening.
Yeah, the Azir comes in here. At least it's not LeBlanc or Ahri, I suppose. The two that you were saying definitely wouldn't be picked. And obviously, Azir Aphelios can do some pretty insane damage in the late game. They have Lulu to support alongside of Ornn, which will help with the scaling in their comp. And yeah, definitely a little bit less of that on the side of Hanwha Life. We're going to be looking to get in their faces a bit earlier on.
And we can hear them screaming like they're in a
Can you guys hear that?
Yeah, I don't know if the viewers can hear that, but they are...
You definitely saw Hybrid.
Absolutely are about to engage in Mortal Kombat. That was... Those were feral screams. Those were not normal by any means.
No, clearly not.
Yuumi, Ezreal, Rumble, Jarvan the 4th, and Aatrox up there in the top lane. A very wonky type of team composition that pairs Ezreal Yuumi as a standalone with their Wombo combo backline engage. And as a response to that, AP actually managed to draft the Azir and the Ornn as countermeasures to the Aatrox and the Ezreal Yuumi.
Yeah.
So, Aphelios and Lulu, they have some friends helping them out. The Rek'Sai, though, we're just going to ignore that.
Yeah, she's kind of doing her own thing in the jungle, probably. And so we'll have to see if Flawless can make his Rek'Sai, which he does like to play. We'll see if he can actually make it work in this game. Hopefully, as long as it's a little bit better than Bonos, that might work out. As we're going for this play again down in the bottom side. And, you know, you mentioned how this might be a response to the meta of scrims and stuff like this. You even notice a ward that's very nicely placed. It's going to spot them coming in.
And I'm curious if they're going to end up actually trying to go for a response to this. It doesn't seem so. Seems like they're content with just knowing that the opponents have planted down a lot of vision on the right-hand side.
That was interesting. I thought that scanner actually caught the ward. Not quite the case. And it looks like Haru actually, he's not going to go red or anything like that. He's going to start up here at the blue. Knowing that Rek'Sai is starting on his red, he's just going to look to mirror his pathing essentially by starting on same sides of the, well, I suppose you could say the vertical side of the map.
The thing that we're going to pay attention to here is what is Rek'Sai's opening path going to be? I always find it so peculiar when this ends up happening. They do red to blue. They do this in every single region, and I've actually asked pro players why they do it, and the reason is just, I mean, the answers vary from I don't want to get invaded to something like, oh, cooldown reduction. And it's like, no. It's not, you know, because most people, they don't even kite the camps as efficiently as they could. So if the argument is really about cooldown reduction, you'd think that they would be more precise on doing stuff like that to shave down timings, right? So,
like, it can be scientifically proven to you. All you have to do is test it.
Right,
that doing, you know.
And interestingly, there's a new, I don't know if you'd call him a YouTuber. There's a guy that actually goes and shows videos on the fastest possible clears that every champion can do, and then he recreates it over and over to show that it is like possible.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very, very good content. I don't know his name off the top of my head. I've seen the videos and threads occasionally. So, anyways, here in this game, Rek'Sai gonna do the red into blue, into wrapping around, back into the red-hand side jungle. Haru looking to sin right away.
Skipped a couple of camps. He's waiting for his Scuttle Crab here instead. So he's going to go over to that.
I mean, this is another cheater spot, right? You're not going to achieve anything as Ezreal Yuumi. So let's see if what they can exert here for the next 20 seconds is more worth than recalling into a call. And the answer is going to be no 9 out of 10 times. So a lot of lost opportunity. You see Jarvan was pathing down to bottom, so if you go for the cheater recall and you let Jarvan do the golem camp, well, now the opponents are overextended on your lane. It's frozen in front of your turret. Jarvan ganks. They don't have TP. If they're forced to back off, you maintain a freeze. You zone them out of 12, 18 CS over the course of a couple of minutes. That's a kill itself with the EXP. But instead, we value 200 chip damage onto the turret, so it's a nice thing to see insanity repeated over and over.
Yeah. You know that, I forget the movie it was, but...
Groundhog Day?
No, but another good example. What?
What? No.
Always be closing. I don't know if you've ever heard this.
No.
In Always Be Closing. It's from, like, I forget the name of the movie.
Oh!
Gonna have to hold that thought as the Flash is forced here by Haru. This time he's getting those efficient ganks down. But instead of always be closing, here in the LCK we do always be pushing. Yeah. That's our thing here. And I'm not sure exactly why, but apparently that's just the name of the game. That's the way everybody's been doing it. So that's the way it goes. And we haven't seen a change on that for a long time, LS. Hopefully you can be the driving force to bring the freeze into effect.
Stop the warming.
Yeah. Gotta cool us down a little bit.
Well, I mean, we've just played ping pong this entire time, right? And what ultimately has really been achieved?
I mean, if they were trying to force a push into a dive and they were being proactive, like LPL style, then I'd say, okay, maybe. You know, I can see why it matters for you to get that push down. But generally, there doesn't seem to be too much of a rhyme or reason to it, which is the biggest gripe we have.
Well, right now, looks like Viper is just still content with farming up. Haru!
Oh, spotted.
Thought he was me for a second, you know? One eye and all.
Yeah. The pirate. Where's your eye patch, LS?
You know, actually, I have my eye patches in my backpack here.
Really?
Yeah, for sleeping.
Oh, okay. That's like an eye cover, though. That's not like a... Oh, they get the root onto Yuumi. And they know the cooldown on this one. Lahen's just trying to survive, but he is so dead. Good luck, have fun in the death realm is what they say. As, okay, nice splash to get out of that one. Dudu is trying to lock him down here, and one more auto should do it. as the solo kill comes in from the rookie in the top lane from Hanwha Life.
And the really impressive thing is that Ixu, not only did he have a Bomby Cinder, he also had the Doron shield. I believe he had the cloth armor, right? Or did he buy that when he was dead?
Maybe he
but
had the gem.
This is the type of thing that in spring and even last year I would talk about a lot on Ornn, is that you invest 900 gold into Bomby Cinder, you get 50 extra HP, and you get a little bit of burn. Very, very little bit. That really isn't that applicable.
Yeah.
And so, for 800 gold, you can just get another root. You can get 2 ruby crystals, right? And it still allows you to retain lane control over the minions because the burn pushes minions away. So you can't lane manipulate as much as you would like.
Oh boy.
And now it also looks like Ixu, I don't know if he's going to build a Glacial Shroud and go Iceborne Gauntlet. That would be a shame.
That's what the items say, but we're going to take a look here at this play. The flash in, and you can see that he also gets polymorphed, and the cooldown was just up, so it was just good presence of mind to just say, hey, he's got that on cooldown. We can actually root him down here. Rek'Sai is bottom side,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He asked that first before he goes in.
Ends up flashing out of the way there.
잡았어. 죽였어.
Oh, he was about to swear.
죽였어.
It's like, I got him! And nearly cursed, and then he's yeah, I killed him. Very excited.
Yeah.
And he should be. I mean, he's like a rookie player coming in here and just dunking on Ixu.
Other interesting thing is it sounded like there was no other comms
Yeah.
going on there. Like everyone's just dead silent.
Nobody said anything.
Oh,
It's
man.
kind of awkward. Icy cold, just the way
Yeah.
LS likes it. You'd fit well on this team.
Yeah. Perfect.
This is
Ooh,
just-
Ixu is getting bounced down.
It's getting bodied, man.
Now, okay, the wave was actually going away from Ixu. It was going to Dudu. He could have just froze.
Why push? Well, TP's down. Oh, he's not even going to stay to get
Which
the
is
third plate.
the point, is that the TP's down, so you pull it on your side of the lane, you know that Ornn's recalling anyway, your teammates get the Rift Herald, and then Jarvan goes and does his Gromp. Jarvan comes top because the lane's frozen, Ornn's dead.
Yeah.
And if Ornn doesn't walk up, well, he's zoned out of multiple waves of CS, you killed him anyway.
Which is worth more than just one plate, had he stayed for the plate in that case. So, it's granted, he pushed, I suppose, to help out with a Rift Herald, but I don't think that the jungler needs help with the Rift Herald, especially Jarvan, who's really fast at doing it with his flag and the ability to reposition himself quite easily. So, definitely a blunder, we'll call it.
And, got the Conqueror fully stacked. Does take a turret shot. He's got to be careful.
He's getting in there. Yeah, what's up?
He's in lethal as soon as Pillar would come back up. I don't know if either of them know it, which is surprising. So if Ixu knows the Ornn combo, Aatrox can't respond. So his HP threshold is really important against the combo. And he was definitely inside of it, but it didn't seem like Ixu was trying to posture for it.
Yeah, it didn't really seem like he was. It was mostly just backing away from the play, so you'd imagine that he did not know. And now Dudu is way outside of that possible range. No more Umbral dash there, and so Dudu had to wait, couldn't go for it even after the Bella's Breath was used. And we're taking a much longer look at the top lane now because of the solo kill that happened before, and we know that the junglers are going to look to interact with this lane while summoners are down. There's like 5 seconds left on Flash for Dudu. He may have stayed just too long, but he's dunking down onto Ixu, nearly picks up the kill, but Flawless is going to eventually take him down as Haru says, okay, I'm going to flash in. Now, he does get the flash and the TP away, so it's not the end of the world, even though it looked a little bit silly. Had to use his own flash to make that play happen. Like the proactivity of that one and the decision not to go in for the kill after the TP is shown.
And at this point in the game, Infernal's coming up at 20 seconds. And you have to think that both of these teams certainly want to get it. Now, neither top laner has teleport available, and it's also a point where, because bottom is on its last leg anyway in terms of turret plates, having Aatrox just run down to ensure that you end up getting it would probably be very ideal. Lava is gonna heal. Oh, he's self-silenced. Can't equalizer.
Gets out of there at least. With the Infernal Drake still alive. Yeah, let's watch the top lane again.
Yeah.
I like just trading.
Yeah.
Oh, no root there. Onto Hybrid. Knew that, okay, the equalizer's gonna come down anyway. And no, I think after he flashes, I mean, he's still at barrier, by the way.
There was never gonna be a kill. Oh, man.
Oh,
That's
yeah. Man, the Jarvans today really not cutting it for me, LS.
I don't blame you, Valdez. I don't blame you for not.
Okay, we're going for it.
Flash.
These players have thrown caution to the wind.
The thing about this though is that Lava's level 9 and Mickey is into level 10.
Oh.
Oh man.
That's the Moon Knight Vigil. I think they should just go for Lava here.
Yeah,
They're going in though, and they get the double Emperor's Divide. As Haru is also going to go down here, ends up making it worth it. At the end of the day, great play by Mickey to get on in there, and now here comes Dudu. As he's going to flash in and immediately gets denied. Yes, he gets the kill, but that is going to be an ace for the side of SeolHaeOne Prince.
Yeah, and you see all the GLHFs going up on the emotes, although Mickey with the Afrika Freaks icon ends up being flashed. And honestly, that Infernal Dragon swing is really big. And as Azir barely able to survive there.
Turret should die.
Yep.
Down it goes.
And so Azir benefiting a lot from I like how they kept the suspense.
He was gone.
Yeah.
Great job, Jonah Strong.
And that might be all that she wrote inside of this game. And the reason that I say that is the gold lead is so oppressive, and remember the ornaments are going to eventually come in as well, and Ezreal and Yuumi are not feeling like they're in a very good spot. This is identical to game number 1.
Oh, that flash from Viper.
Haru is getting dead there, and then take a look at this. Dudu and Lava and friends, they try to go back in, and I can't imagine what they're thinking. Even with one reset there, nothing is going to change.
No.
So,
I don't think we really need to translate that one for you guys.
well,
basically just kill them all and rabid screaming.
it's a oh no, dude.
What is? Okay, I mean they're gonna give Viper the kill,
No,
right? Or
no, no, he's dead.
you?
No, he's dead.
Yeah. Oh, and Lava died too. Okay. Alrighty then. Didn't know we were watching the LPL here, but I guess we are.
The strangest thing is that Hanwha Life, I mean, their coordination all around, it really looks as if they're playing solo queue with mics off. And Lehens and Viper are really just back to being their duo. I mean, it was even like this in the previous game, the Twitch and the Yuumi.
Yeah.
Really doing their own thing and dying on their own too. Almost as if there was no team talk happening whatsoever. I don't really know what to say about it. It's very strange, and even when we had the Dudu listen in, nothing was going on there, so they're floundering about right now. They're down 4,000 gold and an Infernal Drake, so you have to add that in as well. Ornaments are going to come online soon. Yes, there's Ezreal Yuumi, but things are certainly not super ideal. And you take a look at this. Take a look at this, and Mickey, I mean, he whips on the Shurima Shuffle, and then how does Lava die from this point? This is like a Fnatic guess my elo kind of a thing.
Oh my god.
I don't...
He gets poked, and Mickey's like, hey, you're gonna back here.
Well,
down he goes. That's all it took. By the way, he's up here in the top lane at the same time, trying to do the damage to Flawless. Doesn't quite make it happen. So Lava, a bit frustrated right now. He's getting caught out left and right. He will pay the iron price. As, okay, they're just going to throw this one down up in the top side.
Everything's just falling apart.
This
right
game
now.
is in shambles.
Yeah. It is absolutely in shambles. Every time the camera pans somewhere, it looks like the Hanwha Life members are just playing individually at this point. And if you're one of those guys in chat that are like, well, there has to be something Hanwha Life can do to come back, the answer is that realistically, Ezreal and Yuumi need to get to 3+ items and then 2v8 the team fight.
Okay.
Because Rumble, when he's behind, yes, Equalizer deals a lot of damage. The Jarvan's not really that tanky, and Aatrox isn't going to be getting any resets. So all of the pressure is about waiting for Ezreal and Yuumi to try to come online. And it's not as scary as Twitch and Yuumi.
Yeah, it's absolutely not. We've seen Ezreal's take over mid-games. That's when they have better laning phases. They get a couple kills. They go Trinity Force, and they can build it on time. You can see that he's struggling to make it, so we'll be looking to carry, but I'm not sure if they have the time, which is something we always mention, the timings of these item spikes. So now just waiting for the first Ocean Drake to spawn here. Looks like, as has been the theme of the game, both teams are willing and ready to fight over it. See Dudu waiting in base, but is going to move out now.
And you can see both teams are really posturing. Viper sends out True Shot Barrage, doesn't do a whole lot of damage. I'm not sure, is there a Honeyfruit north of Azir right now? I'm not. Usually there is one that spawns there. I'm just not sure if the Fog of War is blocking it or... Well, here comes Dudu on the right-hand side, and Flawless will he win this fight? He will.
Yeah, he will. That's a pretty good equalizer. Good knockup from the Ornn, though. Will disengage as SP say.
Oh, man.
No,
feel it.
Oh, here we go again. The knockup is going to go down onto Dudu, but he will get away this time as Ixu also rooted up there, and nobody dies except the Ocean Drake. Let's not forget him. And that's going to be now just the Ocean Soul on time for SP, and this is totally fine for them. They sit back, they scale up more. Their Azir is 4-0-3.
Yeah.
And they're on Ocean Soul.
It's very, very, very scary right now for Hanwha Life. Ezreal does not have time, and he's trying to go Trinity Force as well to try to deal some physical damage. There's an enormous amount of magic damage on Hanwha Life's team composition. I mean, Cinderhulk is dealing magic, Rumble, Ezreal, and Yuumi, they're all magic damage dealers, so very unfortunate.
Oh, here we go
much
again.
like Lava's decision-making this game.
Yeah. He's not respecting vision.
He's really living up to his name, though.
It,
He's getting burned everywhere.
yeah, for sure. And, you know, there's no vision in the blue side jungle at all. Like, you cannot step up that far. It just means now that they take a free Baron. And so you can't be doing stuff like that. The Baron is going to go down. Haru desperate to get in.
Oh!
And there is the double man knockup, including Yuumi on top of one of those guys. They're even going to get Lahens. What a disaster for Hanwha Life. SeolHaeOne Prince is just running with it and screaming their heads off with joy as they might just push and take an inhibitor here.
Well, they could potentially even push and take the game, depending on what Hanwha Life does when they come up. I don't know what Lava's doing. He's sort of running around, not really doing a whole bunch. Okay, he's gonna cast Equalizer on the wave.
Okay.
And clear it out, so he will get himself quite a bit of gold right there. Also has a stopwatch and another ruby crystal.
Maybe he'll grab another Leandros.
Hey, stop flaming Impact, all right?
That was a great build. When I saw that, I was very, very pleased.
Yeah, I was too. It was a top buy, not a top die. You know what I mean?
For sure. And that was just, I mean, you have no vision, buddy. You can't do that.
야 박치기! 야 나 이즈큐 막아줄게. 이즈큐 막아줄게. 이즈큐 막아줄게.
Say, I'm gonna block the Ezreal Q.
야 빠스 좋다. 빠스 좋다.
Yeah. Ixu's feeling it. He's definitely having a fun time. He's getting the revenge after getting solo killed up in the top lane. That's for sure. He's being the real tank in the front line for the rest of his team.
And
Dudu over the wall. He's gonna get that second knock up, but Emperor's Divide, pretty good ability.
And this is going to be potentially just the final push. If they want to be really Captain Careful, they could wait a minute and a half for the Ocean Soul and just secure that for themselves. I would wager that there is less than 1% chance in this game for Hanwha Life.
Is that before Ocean Soul or after? Before, okay. I don't even want to see the numbers of after. And you can see that SeolHaeOne Prince know it too. They're just going to push in. They still have Baron. 15 seconds left. It's enough time to take an inhibitor if they'd like it. As the engage is going to come in. There's finally that combo. They get the Aphelios as they find him in the front line. And there goes the Ornn as well. So they did not play Captain Careful this time, and they might get burned. As finally the combo is used here by the side of Hanwha Life. As down will go Flawless too.
Jim Carrey. So there's a chance.
Oh,
man. My apologies for not being psychic enough to foresee SP doing this. As, well, that's going to be 10 seconds until the Ocean Dragon comes up. And that means that this game will go on at least another 10 more minutes, I would assume.
Oh, that was interesting. I think he's going to get hit by that as well. And yeah, you are right. The Ocean Drake will go the way of Hanwha Life. There we go. So that was given essentially for free because of the play that they made. You can push, you can pressure without hard committing like this.
So the thing is that this push doesn't need to go as hard as it did, or at least not as quickly, right? And they ended up really dumping it away the same exact way they did in game number 2 Zen. It is almost nearly identical. And you had the Ocean Soul coming up, so you could have just gone over and gotten it. And ultimately what this ends up doing is it buys about 6 minutes of time for Ezreal and Yuumi to try to get more and more items. And really at this point, I mean, Lava should take on the support role and give all the CS and gold over to Yuumi. Because he has the Liandry's Torment, he has the Oblivion Orb, just be done with it at that point. Yuumi is going to be infinitely more valuable with gold than you at this stage. And so the wave that's coming in top lane, he shouldn't even go up and eat it. He should wait for it and give it to Ezreal, funnel everything into him. And everything is just about playing Nexus defense right now. Ixu going to build an item for one of his teammates. It's probably going to be the Molten Edge there onto the Aphelios. The real test here is what item will Ixu end up building next. I think Locket of the Iron Solari is fantastic because then it'll invalidate Rumble's ultimate pretty much, as well as Jarvan and Aatrox's attempt to engage. Just stand with all your teammates next, you know, shoulder to shoulder with Azir, Aphelios, Lulu. They try to engage, Locket active, and you give all of your teammates so much more EHP than you could ever hope to provide in a team fight with a Stoneplate active. We've seen Europe was the first region to start doing this on Ornn.
Yeah, the innovative region.
True.
True, actually.
True.
Yeah, and LCK is famous. Okay, we're throwing up the white flag again here by Ixu. Oh, there it is again. He is definitely one that's not scared of trash talking or being very boisterous, let's say. As we're going to be bursting down this Baron, I think the Ornhorn should go out here, but okay, there it is. They're going to get it now and lock up Haru, but the rest of the team isn't really following until just now as, okay, double stopwatch, but they're both going to go down immediately anyway. Viper desperately trying to push back. He's got the Yuumi on top of him, but the rest of his team not really there. Over the wall, though, Azir is going to go down. Flawless. I don't know about this. He's all alone. Giving another kill over to the Ezreal as the rest of SP was, you know, following up on the top side. Yeah, I'd say don't run directly into the Ezreal Yuumi. Probably a good idea.
Rek'Sai literally has a warrior enchantment, a chain vest, Merc Treads, and Sterix. And he's going over the wall as if he can nuke an Ezreal through Yuumi healing too.
Yeah.
No sense.
It's not gonna happen.
Oh no, not again.
He's going in. He's moving forward, not backwards. Hybrid does have a very forward-thinking mindset on this Aphelios.
Oh.
We've seen this before. Gravita just needs to be there. Ixu throws up the white flag. Dudu says, okay, yes. We accept your surrender.
All right, well, Yuumi still ways away, it seems, from getting the next core item. 1 minute until the soul comes up, and that should be a pretty quick pickup. Honestly, super perplexed as to why Rek'Sai not going in Ornament. Neither is Secret, although that might be Salvation that is going to get picked up. But the Rabadon's Death Crown needs to be built. 93 ability power waiting. Take a look at the Ornhorn. So it lands perfectly there onto Haru and Lava, and okay, game's over. Just game's over. Mickey, do not try to move into Ezreal Yuumi, and just move up and inside the Cataclysm. All 5 members will live.
Yeah. Just like standing there waiting to get over the wall and just dies immediately. Not the best look. We do have Ocean Soul Point coming in here. We got 10 seconds. You can see that SB are thinking about a pick before they do go into this one. But because of a couple of kills that are given over, Viper is immediately given a little bit more power, a little bit more of a chance to come back. And you can see that the Yuumi now, 888 damage already. She's not done yet. Boom.
Well,
that is going to be Ocean Soul, though, immediately, as another really nice knock-up from the Ornhorn. Ixu going to bang his head into the pillar in celebration, as the rest of the team is just backing away. Over the wall goes Flawless.
What is he doing?
Okay. He's going to bait a bunch of abilities and die as he will go down. Look at Yumi's damage, man. So much damage coming out of the cat. As finally Ezreal's going to take over. And we found Dudu. And this is a little bit of an awkward chase, but I think they should be able to eventually get him.
oh,
LS not enjoying the action here, but Dudu will eventually go down. And with Ocean Soul, I think they can just go in and at least push this inhibitor.
well, the inhibitor is going to get pushed and be raised, but with an Ocean Soul, I mean, the game shouldn't be this difficult. With the level of advantages that SP have, they're threading the needle of the end stage is really, really, really lacking. And I mean, even in Flawless's cam, he actually looks very agitated, perhaps with himself, because this is twice now he's done that in this game. And we just take a look. Born Ultimate comes out, lands immediately onto Jarvan, and that's why there's no Jarvan the 5th. Lava up on the top side. Dudu, he's running for the hills. And then I have no words for that. I mean,
that ain't it.
Because Ezreal has flash, so even if Ornn, Azir, Aphelios, if everyone flashes forward with the Rek'Sai, Ezreal flashes too, and they're still at the same separated distance. So, in a world where Ezreal maybe doesn't have flash, everyone flashes forward, Ixu tags him with the exhaust, yeah, they would get him. But that's not what was going on there, so that's very, very surprising.
It's maybe it's a little bit of Rek'Sai desperation, if you will. This is what Rek'Sai feels in the late game up against a fed mobile AD carry. It's like I have no I have no other real use in this one. Let me just try and bait some stuff out. But it hasn't been super effective so far as Viper once again just getting to work onto Ixu. And okay, he's gonna get baited actually, but where's the follow-up damage? Viper's still alive and the Rek'Sai still not able to get in there as Viper is now full health. And he might be able to carry this one as Mickey's getting in there trying to get onto lava, but that's a lot used just to get that one guy. Nice block there actually by Lahens to stop the hybrid damage from going out there. Flawless gonna delay it back. He's on a ward, and that might just be it if he can delay the Ezreal back.
Oh, he has one job, and he did it.
Smited it. Nice.
Yeah,
Gets in there. Finally, the Rek'Sai matters here at the end of the game. Does a good job of delaying, and that should be it. Nice stopwatch, but that is going to be the end of that. As finally, SP are going to win this game after many trials and tribulations. They do pick it up here in game number 3. As everybody really happy on their side. Just coming out here congratulating them. You can see that Mickey's getting a bunch of handshakes there. One hug. And that'll do it. Viper, understandably unhappy with the way that one went. Not able to bring the Ezreal to be the hardcore carry there towards the end.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure. Again, even in some of the end stage fights, it really looks like Hanwha Life just playing with two members mostly, obviously Viper and Lahens, really trying to 2v8 in the game. And it just didn't end up really working. I mean, in all of these games, the early and mid game of Hanwha Life is just non-existent, but then even when they do get the ball rolling, everyone's on different pages except for that bot duo. And it's just so chaotic. And I won't even say, they didn't win game 2. Hybrid threw that game completely by going melee range into all the opponents.
That's
the
not
only reason that they managed to win that. So this is very worrisome if you're a Hanwha Life fan. But for SP, I mean, their early, their mid game, very, very good. Hybrid doing fantastic. Continues to do so in the LCK. Very, very good AD carry player.
What was he saying there? It kind of looked like 0-3 or something like that, or 3-0.
Yeah, maybe.
Not sure what he's trying to say.
Well, not totally sure. Mickey having pretty good performance here today.
Mickey fits right in, by the way, in the personality of this team. He's perfect. He's loves to have fun with the game, that is for sure, and did a lot of that today. So props to him.
Yeah,
picking up the win there with this team. The first one up against Hanwha Life wasn't the smoothest, but it's a good start at least to start off with a win there.
No, it definitely is. And so Hanwha Life, they are, I mean, here's the thing, is when you see problems like this present in teams, in Korea, there's no hope that it's going to get fixed, almost ever. And that's just the way that it's a problem.
Yeah.
You know, no one talks about. And
True.
It's very, very frustrating. So in spring, it was sort of identical. Bringing in Viper is very, very big news, but it doesn't matter if the entire top side just keeps hemorrhaging. And nothing's going to end up getting fixed there. So you have to wonder, what is Hanwha Life really going to manage to do? Because their drafts were not even really the problem with these games. They could never get to even game states, and then they were
Yeah.
trying to basically climb mountains to come back in the games.
Yeah, I would mostly agree with that. The Ezreal, I mean, he's trying. The Viper's trying so hard, but it's just not enough. You know, even they made some questionable decisions at times. Dudu, by the way, with the nice solo kill here, he didn't get subbed out on the side of Hanwha Life, and I think that was probably the right decision for today. It was interesting to see Cat also get subbed out once again to let Haru back in. Not that Haru had a terrible game, but I do think that Cat was the better player today.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing to look at if you're a Hanwha Life fan. And there's another one of these fights down at the bottom side where it's like they're desperately trying to force getting like one kill when everybody has basically no health. Like, what's the point? It's so risky.
Yeah, it's really hard to imagine what is going on in the games because so many things are just so confusing, and Viper can't really carry it by himself. It's very worrisome. It's very, very, very worrisome because the same problems that were prevalent in spring are here, and unfortunately, yes, 80 carry is really good, but Viper's not going to be able to change this just by himself. Not with how much everything is bleeding.
Yeah.
On the other sides of the map.
You were talking about, you know, nobody's talking. Well, as I say that, everybody's talking. We're listening into the team comms here of SP.
야 이제 못 봐. 여기 나 에어본은 다 뛰어볼게. 야 이제 노플 이제 나블 잘 봐. 내가 마무리할게. 야 와봐. 야 이제 노플이야. 얘들아 이거 끝내는 거 어떻게 끝내? 내가 이제 직권할게.
Flawless is the main voice, by the way. He's saying like what to do and where to go. He's saying, okay, go, end, I can stop him.
봐봐. 럼블. 야, 타워.
일단 자르반.
난 너의 끝났어. 야, 이거.
Flawless has got his hands off the mic or the keyboard. Great send-off. Thank you, Hybrid, for that one. And there you have it. Ezreal Yumi can't carry by themselves. That's the name. Well, I suppose it's Viper and Lehens can't carry by themselves. That's the better name of this game, at least. And you can see Viper was not happy. I thought he had some pretty good games today. It wasn't crystal clean, but it was carry worthy. And maybe on a more stable top side of the map, on a different day, they could have won this one 2-1.
Yeah, absolutely. And Hanwha Life, it's again, I mean, it is one series, right? But it's the manner in which they're winning, playing out fights, and going about things that is so worrisome. And for SP, it's still similar to Spring, where they can have very explosive and nice mid games, but then a lot of it comes down to Hybrid in the later stages. But now with Mickey there, that can potentially be a good sign for them going forward. We're going to check out POG. It is Mickey. I did vote for him as well.
You got this one right today.
All right. What do you mean? I got most of them right. Didn't I?
Remember the cat
Oh, no.
vote?
Yeah, the cat vote. Yeah.
Well, maybe you were right on that one, but everybody
They
else
probably
was wrong.
read it as the Canadian dollar. They're like, no.
Yeah, you can't vote for this one. Yeah, Mickey had a great game, for sure. Really good as you were playing this one. I feel like his opponents were, at times, lining themselves up for some of the kills, especially this one. But he still did look really clean on the Azir, and I think he did deserve it in what was a very messy game. I thought Ixu might be the other guy. I think that their engages together were really the MVPs of this one. Not necessarily the Aphelios show or anything like that. As the Dudu chase comes in. No real reason to flash there, but I'm not sure. Probably just desperation at that point, so.
Well, it'll be nice to hear from Mickey. He ended up getting a double MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he? Yeah, he actually did.
Yeah. Right?
I forgot. Yeah. He's the only person up there, so I guess he...
Wait.
I for some reason, the game 1 is not coming back to me. What did he play in that game? He played the Zoe. That's right. Okay. So, guys, we are ready to jump into the interview. Let's hand it over to G-Sun for the translation.
Thank you very much, guys. Let's hear from Mickey, the solo POG of today. It's been a while. So, what did you miss the most from Korea? The fan meeting after every series. But, well, sad that this cannot happen right now, but I'm still happy that we got this win. Your performance was so fantastic today. I mean, even Iksu said he got carried so hard. You were the bus driver, so how do you feel securing that win today? Well, I was here to get carried by Hybrid, but somehow I rolled the dice really well, and I was able to be the bus driver. Speaking of the dice, what number do you think you rolled today? Definitely 6, for sure. And also, all the SeolHaeOne players were performing like a beast today, and the fans are so hyped up. Well, I was in the same team with Iksu and Secret, and now all I need to kind of gel in with was the flawless jungle play, so the team was already ready to go. Yeah, I mean, also, SB, you got even more aggressive and proactive, so who's the main shot caller in your team? Me, as a mid laner, I try to give a lot of calls, but Iksu is the main shot caller. He's the most vocal player. And also, since we have been playing in the same team, I always know what he's gonna say. So, yeah, that's the key of our teamwork. That doesn't mean that I don't listen to him because I know what he's gonna say. I mean, just I'm so used to his team play style, so I also can be really supportive of him. And I also want to mention your opponents. They were keep subbing in and out the top side players. Nothing special. Because I didn't know all those players, to be honest. So that didn't really have a huge impact on me. I also want to ask you about what did Iksu say after he got solo killed? He was like, "Oh, I died." So we were like, "Oh, really? It's okay." I guess SP players really believe in each other. However, Hybrid was overstepping at the bot lane inhibitor. What was that? To be honest, I thought the game was already over, so we were trying to race the next inhibitor, but I think Hybrid was looking for this pentakill angle, and he was like, "Let's do this." But I mean, the trust is what the most important thing is our team. So I just wanted to support his decision. So I just went in with him. Yeah, so the fans are actually like guessing whether that was a click miss or a mistake, but I guess Hybrid was a little bit too ambitious at that point. He said he had no flash, right? I mean, he did. Maybe if Secret said so. And also in game number 3, you guys were having a huge gold lead. But Hanwha also managed to hold on for a substantial time. Yeah, I know we were in a huge lead, but it takes a while for us to close out the game. And all 5 players believe that we really got this game winning points, so we just want to be really careful during the process of game ending.
너무 만족하면서 오늘 경기를 지켜보고 있었을 것 같아요.
And I'm pretty sure that all the LCK fans that knows Mickey are so satisfied with your performance today. So any last message for your fans? Well, Showmaker, I mean, he's a great player, so I'm not really sure whether I can show my performance. But I mean, we got this momentum, so I just want to keep it rolling and show our best performance to our fans. So this will be the end of the interview with Mickey from SeolHaeOne Prince, and I'm going to pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you, Ji-sun, as always, for the wonderful translation of the interview there. Mickey feeling pretty good about the way things went today, and he should be. I mean, it wasn't the cleanest, but it's a good start for them to get on the right track. And it's not the hardest team up against Hanwha, but we'll have to see how they do in the future. I forget who they're going up against in the later stages. I had the sheet here, but now it's gone. Maybe we'll get that on the schedule for you guys in the later stages of this one.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
Fine. We forgive you.
Thanks, Ellis.
You'll be back tomorrow.
I will. And actually the next day after that.
3 days in a row.
3 days in a row. As the Valve analyst is going to return on Saturday alongside Maximilian Atlas Anderson. Mr. Anderson himself. Well, guys, we're going to take a look at the standings so far. SeolHaeOne Prince up there 1-0. Hanwha Life 0-1. There's not too much to look at on the standings this early on in the tournament, but you will see that Gen.G and Damwon are the two teams that have yet to play, so you will be seeing them tomorrow.
Yeah. Gen.G and Damwon are the big question marks right now. Obviously, Gen.G should be the heavy favorites against the mass majority of the lineup in LCK. Damwon, though, still a wild card, although there's lots of hype around it right now, given that Showmaker is in peak form, I guess.
Yeah.
Holding rank 1 and 2 of the Korean solo queue ladder. And speaking of them both, they will be playing tomorrow. Damwon taking on Sandbox, with Gen.G going up against one of the other big three, Dragon X.
Yeah.
And that's going to be pretty scary, because Dragon X has a chance to cement a pretty strong, convincing lead, because it's not really imaginable that the big three will lose to anyone but each other. So if Dragon X could beat them both, T1 and Gen.G, it's so big for standings.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see that match because we get to see Keria play again.
Yeah. True.
Big fan.
And BDD.
Yeah, and BDD, for sure.
We get to see BDD go up against Chovy, because Chovy was looking immortal in the last series with his level of play. So it'll be nice to see him collide up against BDD to see if he can really rise to that level again.
Yeah. So it's going to be a really awesome second match. The first one, I think Damwon pretty heavily favored, but we also get to see exactly what level they're on. So definitely exciting there. But guys, that's going to do it for us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for more LCK.
And I am ready to take it on. You told me to be myself and never feel alone. You're all that I want, you're all that I need. If I was ever in the dark, I'd see. You've always believed and have faith in me. You'll always be my hero. Not before everything you've done. You'll always be my hero. Faith in you like the rising sun. I feel so strong. I feel the freedom to be who I can be. You'll always be my hero. Give me everything I need. Ever in the dark, I'd see. You've always always believed and have faith in me. You'll always be my